I would imagine that Ronnie O'Sullivan is a very relieved man at the moment. As I say, best of 9. Look to be going, well, 3-0 behind. And there's been a lot of pressure on him in this frame, but having won the last frame, now he can relax a little bit. And all that poor run of the ball he was having, forget about it. And also what it did show him that for whatever reason Neil Robertson missed the black off the spot, it was a weakness. And he's left this red.
Yes, it was interesting to hear the boys in the studio talking about Neil Robertson and the fact that when he first came over, probably a little bit of homesickness. He almost thought about packing. He actually played at my club for the first 18 months of his stay over in England. That's probably one of the reasons he wanted to go home. But he was a raw potter then. Had very little idea what happened, but he could smash balls in all over the place. But he's improved 1000% since I first saw him. Still a little bit of improvement tactically to go, but as Ken and Steve were saying,
14.
I think he's the best prospect out of Australia, and I think he'll certainly win a ranking tournament at some stage.
50.
Well, he misjudged that, and he's lucky to have kissed the red on. He had a look at the 2 reds just up from the black, the availability, but I don't know whether they are available. Certainly not played for one of them. I'm not certain if the black will go. Maybe the black will pot, and he could pot the black and then bring those 2 reds into play. Well, that seems to be the idea at the moment. And he's perfect to do that. Just couldn't get that first red to move much. He hit it, but of course it ran into the other red and stopped there. But there was no other spot available for the black, so it goes as close to its own spot as it can without touching that red. You can just about cut this one back. And just caught the bump of the middle pocket, so I think that'll be end of break. And no prizes for guessing what's coming next.
I think this is an unbelievably massive frame for Neil Robertson, because if he went into the interval at 2 all, it would really hurt the fact that he missed the black. If he went in 3-1, he'd probably think, well, that's just about right, you know, okay, Mr. Black could have been 4-0. But to come out of this session 2-2, having dominated really the early part of this match, it would hurt and could be costly in the long run. Both players have had a bit of tip trouble today. It made me smile when Hazel said, "I hope it's not another Sheffield." For those who didn't watch some of the Crucible, there's another little bit of naivety with Neil. He's not too good at getting out of snookers. I think Ronnie had something like 20 tips on John in the last 4 matches at the Crucible.
Yes, he was really having problems, wasn't he? And a lot of this game's between the ears, and I think it wasn't so much the tip. I mean, you would think, well, you would hope, trying that many, you'd find one that was okay. Cost him the world title.
Absolutely. How long did it take to knock a tip in, John? Were you one of those that needed a week, 2 days, 1 day?
Well, it depends what sort of tip you use. I always found with the elk I could knock it in a couple of hours. Blue Diamond, it seemed to take a little bit longer, maybe a couple of day, maybe two. Just having a discussion on where the cue ball was. He's making it harder for himself here, Neil. Ronnie just trying to rough up his tip. Sometimes when you've had a tip on for quite a while, you get the chalk compacted into the leather. As Michaela and Neil.
I didn't like the first time.
She had it right the first time. But that is the great thing about snooker. We sort it out, and of course when she's done that she'll look at Ronnie, but Ronnie doesn't seem too bothered at the moment. He's letting them just another fraction. As I say, he's having it put there, and he's not helping himself here, Neil.
That's what I thought you could see anyway. Yeah? You right with that, Ronnie?
That's Ronnie if he's okay. I think he's just waiting for the shot to be played and get back to the table. Can he miss the pink this time? Yeah, good adjustment.
I can only assume that the white must have been kind of just moving when Michaela was trying to get it close to the green, but good escape this time, as you rightly say, from Neil. It's just pot in the middle, but as you can see, he's going to just play a little screw shot for the pink in the same pocket. It's not there, he's missed that. That, I can only suggest, is a little bit reckless, John, having got back into the match. He's given a very, very easy opportunity for Neil now.
Well, you say that. Is there a red that goes? Oh, yes. Yeah, that was pushing the bolt out a little bit.
One.
But he did say he was going to attack more, Ronnie.
Yes, he always has been very aggressive, Ronnie O'Sullivan, and going back to the missed black from Robertson, if he happens to win this frame now from 40 odd points behind, it won't hurt half as much as if he went on to lose the frame.
Seven. 8.
Just the
14.
pink to play for at the moment. The black's tied up, but if you could get on that red just above the black, I'm certain it's possible, and he could bring the black into play. So that could be the key to this frame.
15.
A little bit straight on the blue, but maybe just enough angle to bring the cue ball down to these reds that are near and around the pink.
$20. 21.
It's just the wrong side of the table, really, because every red seems to pot in the left-hand corner, and now none of them in the right. If he screws on and off the cushion, this is going to have to be hit nicely. Couldn't have hit it better. Perhaps, in fairness, a fraction overweight. Don't know whether the middle of the three reds will pot. If the middle of those three reds will pot, he could stun it in and hold for the pink. No, it doesn't really. Well, if it does, he's still not guaranteed to get good position. So he's actually overscrewed that by 3 or 4 inches. Well, he feels he can pot it. And running through, the other red's bound to kiss the pink. surely with the rest he can cut the red in that is nearest. Doesn't fancy it. Well, he'd be disappointed here to have lost position where the balls were.
Well, he's very reluctant to play that red into the left corner with the rest, so he's playing safe. That does surprise me. So it was a good chance he had there, and he didn't make the most of it. Where's the cue ball going?
Ball.
In
Neil
the
Robertson,
pocket.
4.
And he's left this red on. It will cut into the left corner. So if Neil Robertson can knock this red in, he's got another chance.
The fact that the brown's off its spot helps here, because if he wants to play it hard in and out of baulk, wow, he's suddenly starting to miss a few, isn't he? Touche. Maybe not. Well, Ronnie's smiling, but I think it's possibly more of a grimace than a smile when he saw that cue ball jaw.
Well, that was a tough safety, and that was unlucky just to catch the bump of the middle pocket and come back to where the cue ball had.